Federal officials gave a full list of the sports streaming websites they have seized in advance of Super Bowl Sunday. They also defended their actions, saying that each year sports leagues and broadcasters lose millions of dollars from illegal streaming. Really? Really? Do they really? Do they? How do they measure that? For instance, I, on occasion, have been known to watch the Patriots on my computer because I cannot watch them in New York City. I cannot watch them in New York State. It's a blackout. It's to keep me away from the Patriots. Would I buy Dish Network? No. But that's not even the point. Why is... This is my favorite. You ready for this? I wish we had some I don't know what music to play for this. You know what the name of this operation to seize these sites is? Operation in Our Sites. SITES.
Whoa, tone down that rhetoric there.
Yeah, whoa, Operation in Our Sites.
The surveyor site.
Are you working on OIOS? I mean, do you think the guys at U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement that are taking over web domains that are alleged, do you understand? There's no conviction here. This is not like, the draconian, you've been convicted of drug dealing, we're going to take all your stuff. This is just alleged. So these guys are, judge and jury in seizing this property. Do you think these U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement guys go like, what are you working on? Operation in Our Sites? Oh, yeah. Pretty good. What are you working on? Operation I'm not allowed to tell you. It's secret. I wish I could say I was working an Operation in Our Sites. I was working on Operation... I should have come up with like another pun. So what they do is the operation started out with seizures of websites hawking counterfeit goods. Okay, selling knockoff, I don't know, watches or DVDs, but now they've moved into a territory that's included a BitTorrent search engine, music blogs, and now sports streaming sites. But these sites do not actually stream content. These sites simply aggregate links to where you can find this content, which is just stunning now. This is just pure information this site is disseminating. It is not in any way disseminating anyone else's copyrighted material. Do you understand now how removed this is? Now, theoretically, if I tell you the name of these sites, these aggregating sites, why couldn't they take my domain away? Why couldn't they take majority.fm? If I say to you, and frankly, why are they not shutting down paidcontent.org? Because paidcontent.org goes on to list the names of the sites and then talks about how one of them, Roja Directa, .org and .com, has moved to a different, what do you call it? Dot something else.
Sure. Coincidentally enough, our website is temporarily half down because Kyle's fixing the dropped stream problem.
Oh, well, that's a coincidence, but that would have been a little bit more disturbing if the. So it seized all the websites provide a variety of links to streaming sports content, but avoided actually hosting any video themselves. Instead, the video is hosted by so-called cyberlocker services. I don't know what that means, cyberlocker, but I know I'm going to check it out now. Now, this is the interesting thing. Roja Directa is out of Spain. In Spain, Roja Directa supposedly won a copyright case brought against it in Spanish courts. And in 2009, a court in Israel deemed the broadcast of streaming sports to be fair use under that country's copyright law, as long as the streaming was for non-commercial purposes. So in Israel, you can actually stream this stuff on a site. Never mind have a site that is an aggregator of links to a place in like Israel. Justin TV was a subject of a legal battle. They were sued for unauthorized streaming of the Ultimate Fighting Championship fights. But if federal agents continue to shut down sites on behalf of the copyright owners, content companies might be able to bypass lengthy court fights required to prove their case. So what we have here is the government not enforcing. This is not enforcement of patents or of inventions. Let me just read this from the Constitution. Section 8 of the Section 8 of Article 1. To promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing, this is what the Congress should have the power to do. To promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive right to their respective writings and discoveries. Well, now, first of all, if you're a strict constructionalist, there's no way you can argue that in any way the government has the constitutional authority to protect stuff like TV. Or TV sports. Nobody's written a football game. Does it say anything in the Constitution about TV? And it also says only to promote the progress of science and useful arts. Well, is sports a science? Is sports a useful art? And even if it is, does it need any more progress? They can only promote the progress. What more progress could we have from football?
Depends on which team you're voting.
People are going to have jetpacks and fly around and float.
Was it the XFL?
But aside from that, understand that this agency is not enforcing any laws here, because no law has been proven to be broken. And so what they are doing, and the only thing they have the ability to do, is to shut down and seize these domains, because these domains have been sold by an American company. They're only as specific web addresses, none of which appear to be run outside of the U.S. Because federal agencies are only able to execute these kinds of seizures because certain web addresses are under the control of U.S. companies like VeriSign, which controls internet addresses that end in .com. So what these sites are doing is U.S. agencies RojaDirecta.com and RojaDirecta.org. And the company has already begun operating its services at RojaDirecta.me and RojaDirecta.es. So we have government agencies essentially unilaterally seizing these sites when it's not clear what they're doing is in violation of any American law. All they're doing is aggregating to sites, to other sites, period. And the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is making determination, we don't like what you are linking to. That's problematic. That's fucked up.